Hey, it's Ollie. Welcome back to me in my living room. I'm actually in the middle of editing this video right now. I'm just kind of coming back to you from the future because I wanted to film a little intro for it. I've been having a lot of fun with sewing and making clothes in the past few months. It's definitely been my new hobby that I picked up in 2026. I feel like every new year I have a new creative interest that I get really into, and that's been this recently. So I wanted to really make a video about kind of the stuff I've been learning and what I've been making. Trevor actually got really into sewing at the beginning of last year when he was learning to quilt, and I feel like I got inspired by watching him make things that were turning out really nicely. His quilt projects are so cool. I'll show you a couple of them up here, but kind of gradually we've been shifting more into working together on things and making clothes, which has been really fun for me. Because I feel like I have a hard time finding pieces that I really like and want to wear, and so having total creative control over stuff that I'm making for myself has been really nice. So the summer months are very quickly approaching in New York, and it's always kind of a difficult season for me to find things that I like to wear. I feel like my sense of how I like to dress is very much more well suited to fall and winter seasons, but this year I really want to have things that I actually feel cute in and feel excited to wear while still being able to be comfortable. So I started saving a few things on my Pinterest board a few months ago that I knew that were going to be pieces that I would be excited to wear and that I felt like the two of us could make realistically as kind of beginner projects. And usually when I'm shopping for fabric for a project, we do luckily have a fabric store close by in our neighborhood, but the selection is fairly limited, and I wanted to have some more options because I knew they didn't really have stuff similar to what I've been saving on my reference board. So to get kind of hyped up for making these projects, we decided to kind of treat ourselves to a fun little shopping date in the Garment District in Manhattan. So I'll hand it over to Ollie from the past from our little shopping day in the city.
Oh, that's a big ass. Don't hit me! Don't hit me! I'll sue! What is he doing here?
Never was known to put paint on her cheek, and the most graceful waves hangs her raven black hair. She never requires perfumery there. Dear Evelina, sweet Evelina, my love for thee shall never, never die. Dear Evelina, sweet Evelina, my love for thee shall never, never die.
Oh my gosh.
Evelina, walked all alone by the light of the moon. The planets all shone, for the heavens were clear. I felt round the heart tremendously queer. Dear Evelina, sweet Evelina, my love for thee shall never, never die. Dear Evelina, oh sweet Evelina, my love for thee shall never, never die. 3 years have gone by and I've got not a dollar. Evelina still lives in that green grassy holler. Although I am fated to marry her, never I've sworn that I love
They got the
her
fucking sign for it, like it's a movie theater. Yeah.
It's dear Evelina,
There's creepers.
sweet Evelina, my love for thee shall never, never die. Dear Evelina, sweet Evelina, my love for thee shall never, never die. Dear Evelina, sweet Evelina, my love for thee shall never, never die. Dear Evelina, my sweet Evelina, my love for thee shall never, never die.
I'm gonna try to keep keep this short, but I just wanted to show you the fabric that we got when we went shopping the other day, which ended up being really a fun time. We went to more places than I said we were going to. The first shop that we bought from, I got this fabric, which I'm hoping to use for a few summer clothing items. I'm honestly really excited for this one. The price was really low. I think they were charging $5 per yard. And so I got 3 yards of it. The second store that we bought from, I got this fabric. I was actually drawn to go inside of the store because they had a discount bin outside where the prices were very low. So this one was $1 per yard, so I got 5 yards of it. I think this is like the largest amount of fabric I've ever bought of one thing at a time. So this is gonna be for the wedding guest dress that we are working on. And then from the same store, I also got this fabric here, which is just another plaid. This one is probably the closest to kind of the fabrics that I had saved on my Pinterest board for what I wanted to make summer clothing out of. So yeah, honestly, really great haul. I was pretty happy with the pricing of it all. We stayed in budget really well. Like I said, I spent $15 on this fabric. I want to say I spent a total of $20 on the fabric for the dress, and then I think this one I bought 1 yard of it and it was like $5. But yeah, $40 for all this stuff. I feel pretty good about it, and I am very excited to see the end result of all the things that we're gonna make now. So hi! I'm back with some flowers and espresso I got on my walk, which was very nice. It's pretty cold outside today, but I feel like my outfit is very spring colors, spring feeling. Because it's my birthday this weekend, I wanted to get myself some flowers. Not that I need an excuse to buy some tulips, but they had these and they were very pretty. So last thing that I worked on for the summer wardrobe pieces, I made this kind of makeshift pattern based off of a dress that I like. So I have this to work off of now. For the rest of the dress, I'm thinking that I'm really just gonna kind of wing it as we go along. The plan is pretty much to kind of replicate these skirts that we've made in the past, like different size strips and layering them on top of each other to get the like A-line ruffles kind of thing. It is my day off today, and kind of my plan for what I want to get done for this project is to get the cutting done for the pieces of fabric so that they'll be all ready to just be hemmed and sewed together. I'm hoping Trevor can maybe work on that a little bit while I'm gone tomorrow, because typically, if I haven't mentioned it already in this video, I do all of the pattern design and the cutting for the pieces, and then he'll sew them all together, which is a very fortunate, productive partnership, because that's the part that I really struggle with the most. I'm not totally sure how much daylight I have left, but I'm going to get into the cutting of the pattern pieces, just kind of trying to figure out how much fabric I have, what I'm going to be able to make. So I'm just going to put my headphones in and get into it. So, but I will check back in with you about that when it's ready to go. All right, let's get into it. I want to make sure that I'm not losing length off of a side where I'm going to really need it. Yeah, I think I'm just going to go for like a top corner here. But I think honestly I have like so much of this fabric that it's not going to end up being an issue. It's actually... I'm a little bit nervous since this pattern is like so, like, it's a grid, that it's going to be really obvious if it's slanted even a little bit as I'm sewing everything together. Like, I don't want the pieces to feel mismatched. I feel like it'll just be really easy to tell if anything's crooked. So we're going to try not to have that happen. Oh shit, I didn't mean to do it that way. I forgot to unfold it. Oh, I think it's fairly straight, I guess, so. Okay. So that's the whole bottom panel cut out so that we can remember to keep it safe and protected. So that's going to be the bottom layer of the skirt. It's not really a good place for you to lay down. Birthday morning. Hey, it is a couple days later. We're doing birthday stuff today, and I'm also sick, unfortunately, so if I seem lower energy, that's why. Last time I was sitting down working on this, I finished going through all of the pieces to put the dress together. I'm going for a very full skirt, and so I ended up having to cut 3 different pieces that were the entire length of that 3 yards. For making a tiered skirt in this way, I like to kind of double the length with each layer that it goes down, so I'm doing 3 different 10-inch strips, and then each one is going to double in length, and I ended up using that whole 3 yards for 3 different strips so that I could do the middle strip being that full 3 yards, and then the bottom one being 6 yards. So it's going to be very full and have a lot of movement. Another reason I ended up going through more fabric than I thought I was going to is because I ended up doubling up on all of the pieces for the top. Since Trevor's the one sewing it together, I deferred to his judgment on what's going to be the easiest way to get the clean lines all looking nice. He suggested for this pattern to get the curved neckline to look like cleaner along the edge, that you just take 2 pieces and then sew that circle shape into it and then cut it out and flip it inside out. So we're going to be doing that for the whole top, so that ended up being twice as much fabric as I thought, and then of course just the full skirt that ended up being bigger than I was planning for originally. So today we're doing a lot of sewing stuff together, and this is one of the projects that we're working on. I don't think we're going to have time to finish the dress today, but we've made a lot of progress on it already. But for now, just going to be working on these, hanging out, sewing, having like a gloomy, sick day inside. So we'll see how much we can finish with that. Thanks. Hey, yeah, I took a mini break for a few days because I got very ill. Still not feeling super great today, but functional again. So getting back into the sewing of it all. The weather is getting warmer, so I'm definitely wanting to finish these things up so I can have something to wear. So right now what I'm doing is trying to get the longer length, the one that's going to go at the bottom, to match the length of the shorter middle tier. Trevor went ahead and hinged the edges of this so it's all ready to be sewed together. This is like a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. Like the bottom layer of this is so comically long. I'm gonna be really interested to see how this looks like. Skirt piece of the dress is finished and very cute. I think this is everything that I feel confident to sew on my own. So I'm gonna leave the top part of it for Trevor to finish and attach everything together. But that should be the end for this piece, and then maybe add a zipper to it, and then start thinking about what I want to do with my other fabric. But that's all I have the energy to get done today. So I'll check in again later. On to working on the last piece now, trying to use up the rest of the fabric that I have from this shopping trip, this other kind of light summer layer that I picked out. I only got 1 yard of this fabric, and after making some of my other projects that I've been working on recently, I'm starting to realize like how much it really takes to go into things. Like I feel like I'm getting a better sense of how much fabric I need to buy for different projects. And this is not a lot to work with. So instead, I decided to combine it with some other fabric for this other project that I've been meaning to work on. I have this very old, beloved pair of overalls that I've had for many years. And I never wear them anymore, but I've like not wanted to get rid of them just because like it's a thing that I've had for so long that it feels very sentimental now. They just fit me really awkwardly, and it's like not really how I dress anymore. I'm going to try to work on a project that combines these two pieces together. I have a few references that I saved on my Pinterest. So far what I've done is just take all of the different pieces and kind of I ripped the seams out to make them into like squares of fabric. But yeah, I'm gonna try to conserve as much of the fabric from the original as I can, and start sewing on this and see what it looks like, and then just kind of like go from there once I have my first direction. So gonna start cutting and sewing fabric. Usually when I'm doing ruffling, like when I have a bottom piece of fabric that's going to be larger than the top piece, I'll take a string through and ruffle it ahead of time, which is what I did for the last dress that I was making. Yeah, but for this one, I didn't really feel like doing that, so instead I'm just going to lay out the fabric on top of each other like this so I can measure it at its halfway points. So these are like the edge parts here. So I'm going to take that outside of this and pin it to the outside of this. final reflections. I've actually been working on this video for a little while. I think I started filming for it about a month ago, and these projects have both been very slow to complete. I've been kind of working on other sewing projects at the same time that kind of fall into this same category of making things for summer, and I think you've seen me popping up wearing a few of them, like this top, my crochet one. The dresses have both been finished for about a week now, and I've gotten to wear both of them out a couple times, and they're very wearable, perfectly normal, passable pieces of clothing, which is really exciting. The first one that I was working on, this black plaid dress, that was very much a collaborative effort between Trevor and I, turned out really nicely. Like honestly, I feel like this one looks so professional, so well done. My favorite thing about the black plaid dress is definitely the neckline here. I'm honestly really proud of the pattern that I made for this dress based off of another dress that I had. This was my first time really trying to do anything like that, and I feel like it came together really nicely. I'll probably honestly end up using this even as a reference for things that I do in the future. Like having this kind of top neckline piece separated from the part that goes over the chest is just like, I don't know, it has a really nice look to it, and I like the way that it makes it fit on me. A couple things I will say that I learned doing this. One, I definitely made the dress too short originally. I kind of prefer for a dress on me to like go to just below my kneecaps, and it was a little higher than that, so we ended up having to add another strip of fabric to the middle, which is totally fine, but it made the skirt piece have more ruffles than I intended for it to. So if I made this again, I would probably make these two pieces that go over like the chest and the stomach all one piece. But other than that, like, I feel like it came together pretty much exactly how I imagined it to look, which is really nice. Another thing that I definitely learned while making this is that it takes more fabric than I think it does to make things. That's been a theme in a lot of the projects I've been working on this month. But I'm pretty sure the first time that I was talking about the fabric that I got and that I bought 3 yards of this fabric, I was going to make multiple projects with it, and that was very unrealistic. I pretty much used every single inch of fabric that we had of this to make this dress. It is very full at the bottom, so that's part of the reason why it took up so much fabric. So if you wanted to make it a little bit less full and flouncy, you could probably make it with a little less. And then the other project, my little overall upcycle, this was actually my first ever sewing project that I've done all on my own. Like I said, usually Trevor helps with the sewing and the construction, but this one felt simple enough that I could do it on my own, and I think I did a really good job. Like I said, I started filming this video probably a month ago, and honestly, like in these past few weeks, I've learned a lot like about sewing myself and like gaining some confidence, so I feel like I might be making more projects all on my own, which is really fun and exciting. I'm really glad that I got to hold on to these overalls and find a new use for them that I feel like I'm gonna like actually wear all the time. Overall, I am like so proud of these projects that I've been working on. I've been having like a really fun time working on making clothes lately, so you'll probably be seeing some more similar things from me in the coming months. I have a bigger project that I'm working on right now as well that hopefully, if it comes together well, I'll get to show on here. And I got to use a lot of the skills that I learned from making these projects to kind of get better and make something more complicated. But I can already tell this video is going to be very long, so I'm going to leave it there. Please do leave a comment, let me know you're around. It always means the world to me. Thank you as always for caring about the things that I make, and I will see you soon. Bye!
Way down in the valley where the lily first blows, where the breeze from the